Hi, good people. It's your coach, Leslie Nguyen. I hope that you are making the most of this moment. This moment is priceless. It can't be bought. It can't be sold. It can't be replaced. And once it's gone, it's gone. It doesn't mean that hope is lost, because if you're still hearing me, there's another moment. And so while we have time, let's make the most of this time. I want to talk to you today about defining yourself. It's very important that we make sure that we walk around with our mind on the definition that we have chosen for ourselves. What do I mean by that? When I say define yourself, what I am saying is this. Do you believe that you are who God says you are? Or do you believe that you are what your decisions have been up to this point? What your failures have been up to this point? What your shortcomings have been? What your flaws have been up to this point? If you use those things to define yourself, you will find yourself stagnant. You will find yourself walking around the mountain, over and over again, wondering why you haven't made any progress. It is time for you to be proactive and to take charge of how you define yourself. How you define yourself will dictate the way that you move, the decisions that you make, okay? And the only way that we will that we will continue to evolve positively into the person that God has for us to be is to define ourselves based on His definition of us. I encourage you to even if you don't know exactly where it is in the Bible, and sometimes I don't either, get on the internet and type in something like this. What God says about man in the Bible, what God says about humanity. Because when you begin to understand how God sees you and what He has called you, then it's going to build your self-esteem. I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about self-esteem. Okay? Because I hear a lot of people say things like, and I'm talking about people who say that they have given their lives to God. Okay? It doesn't mean that they're perfect, but it means that they have entered into a covenant relationship with the Most High God. Okay? I often hear people who have done this say that they're a wretch and they're a sinner. But God says that once we've entered into that relationship with Him, it doesn't matter what we have struggled or are struggling with. He doesn't call us a sinner. He says we are His children and that we take on the nature of Him. It is our job to take on the definition that He has placed in us and to begin to meditate on what He says about us, because in doing so, we will begin to move different. The things that we thought once defined us, we will see were actually just a stage in our life. It's not what defines us. So give yourself the freedom to define yourself based on what God says about you. It's far exceeding anything and any compliment that anyone may have of you. And not only that, it allows for you to see beyond what your current shortcomings may be. And it serves as an encouragement for you to continue moving forward and praying and reading the Word of God and speaking the right things over yourself, even when you mess up. Because God knew we were going to mess up before He said that we were the righteousness of God. And that's what He calls us. Love and blessings to y'all. Make the most of today. Love on you by defining yourself the way that God sees you. Later.